So one of the best installs that you have ever seen me do on this channel has been the Cybertruck screen swivel install into the vehicle. I've done it on the Cybertruck, I've done it on the Model Y, I've done it on the Model 3. I gotta tell you, it's by far one of the best installs you can ever do on your vehicles. I know it seems like something really minor, but to have the screen swivel is actually, it seems like a really small thing, but it's actually huge to actually have the screen face you. It actually goes up and down like this, and it actually goes left and right. So it's absolutely one of the best installs, and it's a comfort and safety thing in my opinion, quite frankly, because now you no longer have to bend down and look at the screen or bend over to look at the screen, and it actually doesn't make you crane your neck over that. So for those reasons, it's an incredible install. Now, as I said, I've installed it on every vehicle, but the problem is that the Cybertruck was always a little different. And the reason why it was always a little different is because when I installed it, it actually dropped the screen, if you remember, about an inch or so. I mean, where the screen was compared to where it normally is, it's about an inch and a half, somewhere in that neighborhood. Truth be told, it really didn't bother me. And in fact, some folks tend to prefer this, believe it or not. They love having the screen dropped. So that kit is available. But from our friends at TesStudio, we are now going the opposite direction today. We're going to do another screen swivel install on the Cybertruck, but this time it's going to lift the screen back up, right back to where it was. So just like it is in the 3 and the Y, where it didn't change the height level at all, we're now going to have our Cybertruck screen back to where it was. So stick around. Don't forget to look in the description below to see how you can get a great discount on this particular product, other Tesla accessories. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you back in just a moment. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is to remove the bolts that are underneath the screen here. So I've loosened them up already. I want to go ahead and take this out. And we're going to take the second one out as well. And these are the bolts that are actually holding the bracket in the dash here. I'll take those out. Put those aside because you're going to reuse them. And then underneath here, there's a panel. If you've never changed it, yours is going to be slightly different, but this is where the temperature sensor lies. And you're going to remove this perforated piece of plastic. It'll come right out of here, especially now that I loosened the thing up. It's going to definitely come out. So let's get that out. Okay, so I got the temperature sensor out. Like I said, for yours it's going to be slightly different because I already have the aftermarket version in here. For yours, it'll just pop right on out, and it'll definitely pop out a lot easier than what mine's is. So after I got the bolts out of here and I have the temperature sensor out, you're going to want to remove the temperature sensor with these 2 screws. All right, so as I said, because I'm just doing a swap out here, I don't need to remove my temperature sensor, but it's actually really easy. They just have these 2 screws that are right here. You unscrew that with a Torx wrench and it pops right on out, and you'll need to replace that. So I'm going to go ahead and lift my screen up because now it is disconnected. All right. Okay, so we got the screen off, and here's the HDMI connection that I have for me. I have the, like I said, I already had it installed. This is the HDMI connection. It's a USB HDMI, that's all it is. So now the screen is fully disconnected. All we need to do now, well, is swap out the brackets. Here's how we're gonna do that. Okay, so we got the screen off, and I've loosened up the bolts on here on the bottom, and these bolts come off. This is from the old swivel. We take those off right there. We're gonna set those aside. That allows the whole thing to come out. This is the bracket that we are looking at replacing. And so we're going to take this out. This is the old bracket. Boom. And here's the new bracket. And we're just gonna slide this right back in. Okay, so we're gonna have to change out the fascia piece that we put on here last time. That's this piece that goes right here. It's supposed to just pop right on out. There we go. We're gonna pop it right on out. Okay, so we're gonna get this trim piece off of here. It lifts off just like that. Well, that was easy. So we got the fascia on the back off, and we're just gonna replace it. Normally what would happen is this HDMI cable, there's a little safety thing on here. You pull it out, and you need to replace the HDMI cord here. I'm not gonna go ahead and do that. It does have one in the kit. When you go to replace your screen, this is what you're gonna have to do. And you'll put it on here. But I'm just gonna go ahead and replace it with the new fascia. Now, from this point forward, everything for you should be the same. So it goes on just like this, and it should just snap right on. So it should look just like this when you're done. And we have our HDMI cable coming out of there. Now, okay, so now we got to go ahead and hook our screen back up with the fascia pieces engaged. So we want to turn our screen around. We're going to put it right down here. And you can see our USB cord, our HDMI cord. It's going to attach like that. But before you do that, you want to put your other fascia piece in place. This is going to eventually go up here like this. I'm just going to kind of set it there for now, but that's where it's going to go. And we can go ahead and plug our screen back in. Got to make sure it fits snugly in there. There we go. That's it. Now it's connected. So our screen should be turning back on as we speak. We're going to put this in here just like this. That's going to fit in there one way, and then we're going to put our screws back in. Just like that. I'm going to get our other one. It's going to go over here, just like that, and we're going to tighten all this up. Now, they do supply tools in the kit for you to use, but over time, I have, let's just say, grown weary of that. All right, there we go. That's in there. And now, we get to reseat our bracket. Just like this. First thing I'm going to do is put the bracket in. I'm going to put the bracket in there just like that. Oh, it has stops on it. That's cool. Fascia goes on just like that. Now that it just slides into place, and now the whole thing's going to bolt in. All right, so I'm gonna get my HDMI cable out of the way here. Put the fascia into place. Okay, so I got the fascia in place here. It just slides right into place. And I'm gonna go ahead and put my temp sensor in here. It goes right in here just like this. Goes into these two little slots up here. That's right. All right, that's in place. That's how it's supposed to look. And now I'm going to go ahead and put my screws back in here. So there you have it. We got the screen installed. It wasn't too much trouble. Like I said, I already had a screen swivel in there and I just replaced it up. If you need to take a look to see how to do it from the very beginning, I'll go ahead and put a link below in my description so that you can actually see how I did it with the original screen swivel. So if you need to go back and reference that, that's fine. But other than that, it's a very simple install. I highly recommend it. I really love the way that the screen does swivel. So the screen swivel has raised the screen up about an extra inch, inch and a half back to the original height of the screen, which I really do appreciate because I'm a little bit taller than most, so I appreciate the screen being up a little bit higher, truth be told. Those of that are maybe vertically challenged, you might like it a little bit lower, truth be told. I do notice a difference, and I could see arguments for both. So go ahead and check out both the 1.0 and 2.0, depending on which version you would like to try out. Let me know in the comments what you think about this and which version you think is a little bit better. Look in the description below to see how you can get some great discounts on this particular product, other Tesla accessories. Like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you again soon. Peace.